Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/the Xisuma. Also streaming on the Tickety Talk. Gonna be playing Hermitcraft today. Wasn't my plan, but had to change plans. And I know exactly what we're gonna be doing on the server because Season 2 of Metro Mayhem is here. I am really looking forward to running this actually, but it's not the first thing that we're gonna be doing today. I'm also still doing stuff off camera and setting up my stream because I'm such a professional. Everything was ready to go. No. Let's log in. I think we logged out over at the pixel art project. I'm gonna sit down. Had a very busy day. Need to chill out and relax for a little bit. Welcome to the peeps tuning in. Hey look, we're in the right place. We're exactly where we want to be. J-Mac to Canna Heaven, LJ, Kits, like, can't even say the rest of that one. Jimmy the Wizard, there's a name I can read. T Crafted, very simple. Sventusmaru, oh my god, these names, they're so difficult. I kid, people, I kid. X can read, says Eli. X can read, what? Yeah, apparently I can. You know what? I feel pretty confident about what we're going to do today. It looks like it's been snowing in the area and maybe all the glass isn't in place. I feel pretty confident because we're going to do a big pixel art spread here. And I wasn't sure if we had the room for it. This thing, though, it looks more and more awesome the more of it we put together. Yeah. And how do I get started here? I've had no time to prepare because I had plans to do something different and it's all changed. It's all changed. Let me go open up this pixel art because I got to start off by doing some counting, right? Which is just thrilling entertainment. You know, you're watching the streamer and he's just off camera counting. But that's okay. It's the beginning of the stream. We're letting people tune in, you know. Everstory says, "Why has my name color changed?" It's always been pink, hasn't it? I thought it was always pink. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. This isn't going to be as big as I thought it was. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. I'd say it's about 40 deep. Right? Like this direction about 40. What I'm going to do, because there's going to be this temptation for it to be on a diagonal, we're going to kind of find the top corner, which will literally be there, and start from here. Now I'm pretty sure 40 blocks we're good going downwards. You got a 2, you got a 2, that's 4, 7, 11, 15, 19. Couldn't this be easier for me? 23, 27, 31, 35. What did I say? 40. We're not gonna have any problem hitting 40 from that corner. My one concern is that the width of this might cut off what's going in this direction. There is another slight concern with this build as well, that the bottom of it might look really good getting cut off. But I think we can't really worry about that. I need to sleep in a bed. There's always, you know, that overthinking of stuff, isn't there? It is possible that I could position this in a way where it looks pretty cool coming off the bottom. Then it will, you see, then what it will do is it will probably create this like awkward gap where I then can't put anything else in nearby. It would be wonderful if I just had like a schematic to overlay this. I think I might do that. We haven't done that actually. This means I've got to do some more off-camera stuff, so we can chat while I do this if you want, peeps. Jimmy the Wizard, thank you for 5 months. Faye Child, thank you for 12. And Horned Astrologer, thank you for 25. Really appreciate all the support. Blooming says, how you doing today? Did you have an awesome day? I had just a busy day, one thing after the other, you know. I've come back from a holiday and I need to clean the house top to bottom, and then there's a few other jobs lining up, and then I had a food delivery, and then I need to make some ice cream because my supply was running low. Like, it was just like one thing after another. which is what life is. It's just one damn thing after another. Now, I'm trying to remember what tools I use for this. I think no, it's not. It's MC Mural is the one. This will create exactly what I want out of this image. I hope. The website is doing something. I might need to process this file a little bit beforehand first. Now you want ice cream, says Nightfall, then. Yeah, I mean, ice cream is very, very likable. Someone mentions it, you're gonna want some. When I was on holiday, it wasn't quite hot enough for ice cream. Otherwise, I probably would have had ice cream every single day, you know. Oh boy, this is gonna be such a pain to do properly. Because I have to recount every single pixel again. Schematics are not available on HC. It's client side. I have a mod, which I haven't used in ages. This one right here. So I could use like Malika to throw one in. I'm just seeing that this is going to be awkward to get right. However, interestingly, the website itself has scaling built in. So I can actually do this scaling. It might mess up the pixels. It looks like it's going to mess up the pixels unless I figure out like the exact ratio. I think I'm going to have to eyeball this. Yeah, I'm going to have to eyeball it. Ugh. Okay. So that means I got to start from like a slightly different location. This is going to be so awkward. Yo, Salas Hidden, thank you for 23 months of the Prime. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. You know when you have an image and it's like of pixel art, but it's been blown up so it's not small? Like, what you want to do is like refractor that size, and unless you're going to count every single pixel, it's going to be an absolute pain to do. I'd happily do this actually, but it means doing like 20 minutes of like off-camera work. So I am gonna have to eyeball it big time. In fact, I can kind of like drag the picture over my screen. I know you can't see this. That might help me a little bit. And then figure out where to start from there, maybe. We had a great suggestion though from Autumn in the other stream to use carpets as a way of getting some like outlines down. So we're gonna take some brown carpet here. Maybe a little bit of orange too. Oh, yeah, I'm crafting it and there's literally already loads of it. What is wrong with me? Sorbet ice cream is so good you should try it. Yeah, I love sorbets. Sorbets are great. Sorbets are good. There's going to be a lot of winging it in this. A lot of winging it. Speaking of background music, the info is missing. Yeah, we had no music on the last stream, just haven't turned it back on. There you go, Lena Rain today. Celeste soundtrack, a game I have not played, but very much enjoyed the soundtrack to it. What are the maps for, says Kira. The maps? What maps? Yo, I can't take this anymore. I think I have to do it the off-camera way. But my brain's been like ticking over on how to make it easier, and I think I can do this in not a crazy amount of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and do stuff in the background for a minute here. I mean, yell at me in chat if it starts to get dark, right? You tried making basil flavored ice cream last week, and it was amazing. I really thought you were gonna say it was terrible. I legitimately thought you were going to say it was terrible, but I'm glad it was amazing. Glad it was amazing. Right, so now I've got to play a counting game with this image. This thing has pixels. I can count it halfway across to reduce the amount of counting, right? So like 1, 2, what is it doing? It's being weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It's 28 pixels across. So if I go and double that, is that 56? So if I make my new thing 56, the height is then 36. And like that, oh, this is going to be so good now. This is, okay, this is totally worth it. Gonna save it. Okay, then I'm gonna use that other website. You had avocado ice cream. It was horrible. Yeah, that's kind of what I was expecting with the basil one, right? Stew flavor is great. I think we're making things up now. Stew flavor? I remember, oh, what was it? Nathan For You did this. This is like a comedy show where they did a poo flavored ice cream. So ridiculous. Yo, ye old envelope. Thank you so much, my dude. Appreciate you. Thank you for 31 months of support. Right, this thing is going to ask me to choose blocks. I'm going to go with wall blocks. No. All blocks exclude. Wall blocks include. Okay, then I can do a preview. Oh man, this thing is going to look weird. It's going to be red more than brown. Actually, it kind of works that way. It kind of works. This is really strange, but it works. I kind of have to get rid of black wall. This can do so much work for me as well. This thing. Yeah, if I get rid of black wall, then we have a problem. Okay, let me update the thing again. We're gonna have to take some creative liberties with this thing. It's a function. It's a mural. Why is it not a schematic? Oh. So now I have to use a data pack on my server. We'll try the MC. No, we'll do the data pack. KKK. Now I've got to connect to the server in the control panel. Right, we're almost there. We're almost back to doing stuff here in game. Almost there. Just gonna pop onto a different server, which I recently updated so we can actually use this on stream. Okay, I need to drop the data pack into this world. Oh, this is my dice project that I've been working on. And I haven't got very far with it. Not yet. Okay, data packs. Put in the mural. Now we reload. Bam. X, remember when you said custard cream ice cream tasted like custard? Oh, dude, yeah, no, I had some custard ice cream in Japan, and it tasted like custard, and it blew my mind. All right, we're going to go over here a little bit. So this will be... What do we do? Run a function? That's the one. Oh, thank goodness it just works straight away. I've done this before, and it has just not worked. So what we're going to do... Well, I'm doing this wrong, so that's a good start. Okay, we have to use a different program, really. So we're going to create a schematic. So we come here, create a new subregion. We'll call it pixel art. Okay. Oh, you can see what we're creating now as well. You'll see what we're creating. And then we want to give this one the same name. Set that there. Configure this. Like first one, move to player, move it down by 1. Then I press M and R to show what we're doing. Okay, so that's actually wrong. Maybe it moved it to my head. You'd be concerned if custard ice cream didn't taste like custard. It's just one of those things where it's like, I don't know, like imagine a flavor, like broccoli flavored ice cream, okay? And you're like, that's going to be awful. But then you taste it and you're like, damn, it tastes like broccoli. You know, like in a good way. I thought you're not going to make it taste like custard, right? It's going to be similar, but it's going to be a yucky ice cream. No, it's like, wow, that's actually good. Okay. So go back into here, configure this one, move to the player, and then move it down. See, that's the thing. There's something wrong with this selection because it's... Oh! It has worked. Right. So now we are going to save the schematic. Save schematic. Pixel art. Done. Then we're going to set to 0. Because I don't want to leave it in the world. I need to get rid of that data pack as well. Just do that quickly now that we're done. Goodbye. And then I'll restart the server so it's gone. Cool, right, back to Hermitcraft. Our business there is done. This didn't take too long at all, did it? A lot of ice cream has a custard base though, says Jutland Angel. Interesting. I wouldn't associate these two things together, you see. Like, I've never had ice cream and thought of custard. Badger, welcome to the stream. Damn, we've been streaming for 15 minutes? What the heck? Feels like 5. Whenever I sip the tea, I have to look at the time, right? That's how that works. Okay, so now we need to load the pixel art schematic. Oh, interesting. I have one called Pixel without an E. That could have created a conflict. I guess I'm probably going to want this view. Uh-huh. Oh, here we go. Business time. Business time, people. Schematic placement. Exile Tower. I'm probably done with that. Oh my god, this is amazing. So now we can kind of like look at where the path is and look at where the body gets cut off. Because we can cut off a little bit of this thing. And then if we look over there, we probably want it one more to the left. Oh my god, that's absolutely brilliant. And then we'll leave it at that height. Yo, this does not take us up as much space as I thought it would. Also, I'm looking back over here and I'm kind of thinking, actually, maybe we just nudge it like 2 blocks. Final adjustment, 2 blocks. Zoink. Down here, configure. Done. Right, let's get placing. Oh, that's so good. I'm so happy we're putting this here. We can actually start by shearing away all of this. So the one big thing is this has black. We're going to change black to grey. And I don't think it really uses grey anywhere else. So I think we're okay. So now doing this should be relatively pleasant because we can see exactly where we need to change stuff. All right, this is our life now, people. This is what we're doing. Let's hang out. Let's chat. We got Armored Monkey here for 82 months. We got Korishi here for 91. Thank you so much to the both of you. Armored Monkey mentions that this is an amazing community. That is such a great excuse for me to press a button. It's actually missing. It's actually missing on my control panel. Really weird. Peeps, on September the 3rd, we are doing a communal UHC. If you're a part of my community, which you can be by being a Patreon, a subscriber here on Twitch, gifted, Prime, regular, y'all are welcome to get connected to our community and come and play in this UHC. It's going to be a lot of fun. UHC is an absolute classic game mode, and we're going to get a big crowd of us to play on September the 3rd. So if you'd like to partake, ask our mods for help. They're very kind and helpful people if you're not sure where to go. But the place to go is asumavoid.com/get whitelisted. If you have any trouble using our system, just let them know. They'll help you get hooked up. Yeah, so I'm so looking forward to this. I love playing the UHCs. I played one with Peeps a little while back, and it was a small one, but we still had a lot of fun. I got a couple of kills, and I want us to have a really big one together. So, you know, put that date in your calendar and come and play. Rofo Rex says I love some UHC. Yeah, like hope to see you there. You know, we're gonna try and do them on a regular basis, and I'm hoping that it will lead to some sort of like UHC thing with Hermitcraft at some point. Every now and then we talk about doing like Hunt the Hermit again, and things rarely manifest. But I'm thinking if we can get like a rhythm going over here with the UHC stuff, maybe we'll find our way to doing something like that again. You know. Enderzella, thank you so much for 7 months. Just dropping in because you woke up in the middle of the night. It's literally 5 a.m. Okay, bye. Have fun. Go back to sleep. Thank you so much for dropping the sub. I appreciate that. It's been a long time since you played any UHCs as 8 Pro Bar. It's always a good time to get back into it though, right? You blame MCC and rivals for the downfall of UHCs. I think that's like very fair. I just wouldn't say I wouldn't say blame, because I think all things have their moment and then the moment passes, right? So whatever comes and replaces it, it's not really that thing's fault for being the new thing. Is kind of how I feel about it. But yeah, those are the two things that have come along and really sort of replaced the UHC thing. Then again, like, how popular was UHC when Hunger Games came around, right? And when Bed Wars got big? Because it's an old game now. Eddie says, hey crafty people, I'm making Yarntail, but I don't have a pet brush on hand. Is there any ideas for potential alternatives? Eddie, you have come to the official Yarntail pet brush channel. It's what I'm known for. Oh my god, I'll talk your head off about that stuff. I have no idea what you just said. Alex, what are we working on? Pixel art. And then we're gonna try and get ourselves Metro Mayhem time down on the board today. Season 2. It's popping off. It's popping off! You saw my MCC Collector's Edition and you love the art so much. Me too, man. Me too. I'm drawing a blank on the name. Oh god, it's like so Baron. It was Baron. There you go. Gotta remember the brain's a little slow these days. Baron did the art on that, and they made this incredible poster design that just captures like an extreme metal aesthetic, but totally fits the Doom Guy vibe. And I'd really like to work with them on a piece of merch. I've wanted to do a piece of merch for such a long time, which is just simply a flag, like a poster flag, a fabric poster. It has a few different names, but I've had fabric posters for a long time, and I really like them. They're just such a cool, like, bit more unique than a regular poster. But I can never find like a service that does print on demand for fabric posters. And every time I get a little bit close, I tend to check back, and then it's like, oh, it's gone. So they're obviously like not very popular. Yeah. Blooming says, I'd love some Xisuma merch. For those of you that don't know, Hermitcraft has launched some merch. We're doing a soft launch, so not making a big deal out of it. Reason being, we want to catch any issues before it goes big, you know? We want to make it top-notch for all of you. We want it to be like a good experience getting your hands on that stuff, and then to not be any headaches. So, soft launch to begin with. You can go to shop.hermitcraft.com. Now, as you know, I'm not that big on merch. I'm really happy that the Hermits have been able to figure out how to do this between ourselves. I think it's wonderful because a lot of you love merch, and now you can get some and support us in the process as a group. For me personally, I don't want to do my own merch. Like, I'm always interested in doing something a little unique and between the lines and different when it comes to things like that. But that's because I don't really have a general passion for that sort of thing. So when I see an opportunity to do something unique, it excites me a bit more, I think. And the flag thing is just like an idea that I really love, but I can never find. Every now and then I do a little bit of research, and I can never find a provider to do that stuff print on demand. Otherwise, I'd be all over it, you know? To have a few designs, because I would just be like taking my love of my own flags, which are like bands that I love, and giving it that kind of aesthetic for the whole Xisuma thing. You know, it just makes total sense to me. You have the desk mat, but Joe has commandeered it to show it off when he talks about the merch store. I want to put it on my desk. Yeah, I was tempted to get that one, but like my desk is so big. I have played around with it in the past, and I can't find the right size. So I just got myself a couple of no, did I get 2? I think I got 2 notebooks and the 2 mugs. Those were the things I got for myself. Mugs are functional, and the books, I want to write my Hermitcraft notes in those books, you know? I want to get back to a little bit of pen and paper, and I just thought the design was so amazing, like, what a great way to do it. This bit annoys me, because now we're on water, and now we're bobbing around. Don't want to be bobbing. You got the mug and the stickers. I like things I can use. Awesome, awesome. Other mugs for tea. Yeah, I might actually, like, I have this thing sometimes where I get something and then I avoid using it because I want to keep it new. At the same time, I'm also the sort of person that says, put a scuff on it because it will get one eventually, right? Like, sometimes I fight that feeling by, like, embracing the fact that everything is going to, you know, degrade and pick up blemishes and yada yada yada. Oh, I think I made a mistake. I think I might have done that elsewhere as well, because I had one of these in my inventory earlier, didn't I? Joe also stole the mug for promo. Didn't he get any of his own? So what are we doing? What's the pixel art portraying? Why are we doing it? We're doing classic video game art, and this is from a game called Duck Hunt on the NES. I played it as a kid. My childminder, their family had an NES, and I don't really remember playing it a lot, but I do have, like, memories of it. And one of them was playing Duck Hunt and just, you know, remembering the game. They had the gun and all the accessories, and it was super cool. You could, like, shoot at the screen and it would know where you shot. I once learned how that worked, probably by watching a YouTube video on it, and now I can't remember. I cannot recall that one. I'm, like, drawing a blank. How does that work? How does that work? It's probably got something to do with, like a laser or some sort of light beam hits the screen and comes back, and it's able to create some sort of value based on the CRT's refresh rate or something. It's gonna be something like that, like very old school tech, but very interesting. Probably doesn't work anymore on a modern screen, I might imagine, as well, actually. Anyone had any experience with that, like playing old school games on new televisions? The CRT monitors, they kind of add a lot to the vibe, and especially if you want to play the Nintendo 64, the CRT monitor is kind of required for that, because they use this weird blurring technique to make the graphics feel like less pixely, so it looks really bad on modern displays. Let us get in the bed. Pell says, hi, Xisuma, what's up? What's up, Pell? What's up, homie? I'm just out here shearing the wall. Shearing all the wall away. It's going to take a minute. Oh, there's zombies everywhere. They're picking up my blocks. My infinite wall blocks. You gotta sweep. I gotta sweep. It's true. I gotta do that. It's genius. There's no two-way beam. Tell me more. Tell me more. Time the point where the cam in the gun saw the point. Wait. Here we go. The Duck Hunt gun, officially the Nintendo Zapper, was detecting light from the CRT television screen. When you pull the trigger, the game turns the screen completely black for one frame, then flashes the targets on the next frame. The Zapper's light sensor detects this white flash and registers a hit, and sends that information to the console to determine how successful the shot is, according to Google. Fascinating. That's interesting. That's interesting. I think the whole thing about it flashing, I think I kind of remember you got a sense of, like, the screen kind of, like, jittering, or, you know, you felt that interference, even for a split second. Like, it was always a bit weird when you did the shot. Kind of remember that, the flash. I think maybe they just baked it in as part of the aesthetic, right? Like, you do the shot and you're gonna see the flash, but it's also how the game figures out where you're aiming. Very cool stuff. Have I seen the trophies for Metro Mayhem yet? Only briefly through the recap did I see a little bit of it. I remember doing stuff like putting the gun directly at the screen, like really close. So you like basically always got a hit because you were much closer to it. It made it much easier. I imagine lots of kids in the 90s did that. Or 80s even. It's an 80s console, technically. I think it came out in like 86 or maybe sooner, and then it got like rebranded to the NES when it came to the States and then Europe. Because when I was growing up, you know, things used to have like a release schedule where something would get released in Japan and then it would be released in America a year later, and then a few months after that it would be in Europe. It's kind of amazing how slow things moved back then and now how instantaneous everything is today. We are crazy connected. Absolutely crazy connected. Blooming says I feel old. Embrace it. You've aged like fine wine. That sounded really weird. Wait, is Season 2 here, says Pitching Rock. Season 2? Yeah, Metro Mayhem Season 2. I believe so. Like, someone told me in my chat that it was opening on Monday. Today is Tuesday. I mean, I hope that much is true, right? Age like fine wine. That's the thing they say, isn't it? Because the older the wine, the better it is, apparently. I don't know. I'm not a wine drinker. I'll have a wine, but not like that. I'll have a verbal wine. I age like milk. Brilliant. Better than aging like milk, for sure, for sure. I mean, every now and then, everyone knows it. You open your fridge, and you're like, "Oh, oh, that's that smell. That's the milk. It's gone." And when the milk goes, it goes. Srink says, "Is MM Season 2 open?" Just joining stream. I'm now wondering if it is or it isn't, because someone told me that it would be open on Monday, and now I'm kind of realizing that chat always just says things and doesn't necessarily mean they're correct. I just kind of assumed. Oh yeah, okay, they know more than me, you know. So yeah, it opens on Monday, right? You don't think you've seen me play a single Metroidvania? He's more of a puzzle game type. Yeah, I don't think I've, like, ever properly played one of those games. Maybe, like, you know, decades ago when I was a kid, I don't know, playing games at a friend's house, I might have played something like that, but it's a concept for the game I've heard a lot about, but I don't really know exactly what it is. Is it like a platformer, but something else that goes along with it? Callie says, "Oh, but that you read, huh?" You know how this chat thing works. I don't read every message. What do you expect of me? Jeez. You've been around how long? Impulse did release a video saying he's doing stuff, but can't remember when he said it's opening again. Okay, we'll go have a look. We'll definitely have a look. You have no idea what to paint, draw. I'm on complete art block. Any ideas? Draw. Okay, like I'm thinking of the words to describe. For some reason, this aesthetic just popped into my head. But what do they call it? Like Japanese cyberpunk in the 1980s is like a cinema that had this really crazy aesthetic with there was this movie about this guy who started like growing metal out of him and stuff. Like the whole cyberpunk aesthetic, like industrial, Metal Man. It was on an album cover. I think I'm literally thinking of an album cover. Anyway, draw something like that. Draw something like man meets metal, cyberpunk aesthetic. You know, hybrid gone wrong. It's dystopian. It's gritty. It's weird, it's unusual, but it's fascinating to look at. All right, that's your art concept for the day. I'm now your art teacher basically. I'm giving you all the ideas. Ah, press the wrong button. Pearl's room isn't finished yet, so you don't think it's over. Well, based on the fact that people are asking in a surprised manner, I'm starting to think that, yeah, it was porkies. It was absolute porkies. Oh, we've still got all of this here to do, okay. I thought we were done. Thought we were done with all of this. X, you're starting to handle phasmophobia. Try devour. It's like phasmophobia, but instead of identifying the entities, you banish the entities by performing a banishing ritual. That sounds cool. I feel like your music kind of makes me listen to a lot of rock and metal music. That's terrific. Because rock and metal is good. Right, I'm adding that one to my post-stream notes, so I will check it out. Ah, and I got something else to do here. Okay, let's keep sharing. Like Ed. Let's keep sharing like Ed. Oh, what a joke. I know that you called me out for expecting you to read, but at least at least read when I give you an answer to a question you just asked. It'll be the death of me. You know, I'm joking around. I'm half joking, but you can't count on me for anything. Streamer is distracted. Streamer is doing multiple things. Your mum thought Ed Sheeran was a girl until recently. I mean, he's got a guy's name. Well, some names are pretty much exclusively for guys, and some names are pretty much exclusively for girls. Some are both. But like the Ed, I hope that would have given it away. Ed short for Edwina. Yeah. Could be, I guess. Edwina Sheeran. Coming to you soon from an alternate universe. Are you planning on playing Phasmo solo still? Absolutely, yeah. 100%. I got something else lined up that's going to take up a bit of time. Not sure how long and not sure what it's going to be like either. Playing a totally new game, so it could be amazing, it could be alright, like who knows. But that'll take up a bit of my time, but Phasmo will always be on the cards. Until I saw Kim Possible, you thought Kim was a guy's name. I thought Kim was a girl's name predominantly. But then there's that Korean guy. His name is Kim. And then there's probably some other Kims if I thought hard enough about it, but my brain's busy. My brain's busy ignoring messages from Callie and reading random ones from chat. Did I just say that out loud? Whoopsie. Let's go over here. Right, so now I need our beloved walls again. For red will be the body color. Just gonna look a bit weird, but that's okay. Brown for the edges. I'm literally next to brown. Brown for the edges. Let's get our grey in. I might do grey first because it's going to be awkward to look at, and then lots of white. There's more colours. There's green and orange. Let's grab those while we're here. Come on. I've cleared out the inventory. Yo, we got a noise in the ear. I've got to deprogram my brain from saying that now. Phil Halibio, thank you so much for 6 months of support, my dude. Appreciate ya. Thank you for supporting the channel. Be sure to get hooked up to our Discord community and join the UHC on Wednesday, next Wednesday. Stellian says you are pretty good at ignoring my messages too, X. At least Callie gets some read. Oh, I'm sorry, SD. I'll try and do better. You also thought Kim is a boy's name, because in my country, Kim equals Kimmy, which is a boy's name, so obviously I thought that Kim is a boy's name too. I'm just trying to think of, like, famous Kims now, like Lil Kim. is it Kim Basinger? Was she in that Eminem movie? And that's about as far as I get. Badger says, I hope Xisuma doesn't read this message. Oh god, I've just destroyed your hopes and dreams. I'm gonna stand up. I've been sat down for too long. Kim Kardashian. This is how little I care about the Kardashians, you know. The Cardassians, though, don't get me started about them. Don't get me started about them. I'm a big Star Wars nerd, me. I'll talk about the Cardassians for too long. So Kim is one of the most common family names in Korea. There you go, there you go. Right, let's play some blocks, yo. Let's make this magic happen. Pixel art magic over here. It's going to be easier to like face downwards because then you're more like on top of where you place these. And then when that water comes along, it's just going to be annoying. We're going to place them like low in the water by mistake, I know it. But this bit's simple. Alright, so now we do white. Hey, Jevin logged in. I didn't see him log in. Wait, when did Jevin log in? Oh, wait, I logged out and then Jevin was in. I just spotted him on the hotbar, like hanging out down there, just chilling out, being a Jevin. Just being a mini Jevin on the hotbar right there. I'm gonna summon Scar. It's quite possible. Who's worse, the Cardassians, the Kardashians? There's only one way to find out. Fight. They're two very different empires. Normally you can select the block from the schematic by pushing the middle mouse button. Yeah, I don't like to do that. I like to keep it a little more vanilla than that, you know? It's one of these things about this game. I feel like with this stuff that we're doing right now, it's one of these things that you really want to do in this game, and people do it, but it's just so tedious unless you use like a mod to help you do it. Like, I used to do a lot of this back in the day before we had the mods, and it was literally like looking at the other screen, you know, and trying to figure out what that block there was, and then you'd go back and forth between the different screens, and you'd take screenshots of stuff, and then it's like, oh gosh, this is so tedious. And someone makes a little tool to, you know, put a schematic of it in front of you so you know where the blocks go, and then the next logical step, someone's going to automate, you know, parts of that, so now you don't have to place the blocks. Where the actual middle line is, like the right way, air quotes, to do it, that's really just up to the player, right? Oh, interesting. It put a bit of grey wool there. I can actually see on my other screen that is... I now need black wool. Ugh. That is incorrect. Somehow, like an artifact got put into this thing. Your mod pack makes life so much better even for a single player, says Pelcom. Yeah, that's you know, that's all of the little tools and things that I've accumulated where I found things and I felt like this could be easier. And so it's ended up in my little mod pack. Winnie, welcome to the stream. How you doing? Blooming says, remember to hydrate and drink some tea. Yeah, my tea's cold now, but I appreciate the hydration reminder. Okay, so that one we're just going to put back to normal. And I can see what I'm doing on the other screen. We're building the little ducky feet right here. Which is kind of cool. Right, and then this is all going to be the grey wool stuff. It's going to look so good when it's done. I have a few other ones to put in the area as well. But if Metro Mayhem is closed, by the way, I think I might do a little bit of Redstone brainstorming. I saw that project, and I was like, oh, I want to get back to that. I have too many ideas, and not enough focus lately, it feels like. Right, I think we're close to getting a check on the whole. In fact, let's just check now. So, like... Oh boy, you can see it coming together. You can see it coming together. It's going to be so good down here. You had tea earlier and you want tea now. Well, the good thing about tea is you can drink loads of it. But maybe not right before you go to bed. Okay, oh, this is where it gets awkward because of the water. Is that right? Brown wool. No, brown wool goes here. Interesting. A little bit of the brown. This is where his fists are, so it's like a mix of red and brown. Okay, and then what's on? Still red wool. Hi, Xisuma. I'm also passionate about Minecraft pixel art. It's a nice pixel art. Oh, awesome. That's cool. You're probably liking this project then, right? Hey, Prober, your kettle is broken. Technology, eh? Technology. To be fair, like, a kettle is a pretty old-school bit of technology. But they break. These things break. That's one of those things that annoys me a lot, but, like, really shouldn't. It's just when things break. Like, plans just change. You know, the car doesn't start, and it's like, oh, well, now my world's upside down for a few days. What am I doing? Or like you go to boot up the computer and it doesn't boot up, and you're like, what's the rest of my week gonna be like now? Because that happened to me earlier in the year. Just didn't boot up. Had to take it to the shop to get it repaired, and they were like, hey, we booted it up. There was nothing wrong. I'm like, what? They reckoned that what had happened was over the winter the temperature, like being colder, had maybe caused like a loose connection somewhere to rest in a slightly different position, and then like the changes in temperature caused it to become disconnected. But then me just taking it to the shop, you know, it gets picked up, it gets moved around, there's shaking, there's vibrations, and it just wiggled it back into place, and it booted up again, which is just weird. And for a long time I had this like ambient feeling every time I would go to boot up the computer of like, this might be another awkward day, but no, it's been working fine since. Losing Word docs for classes and contemplating dropping out. Things like that happen, right? Things like that happen. And it's always frustrating. Am I doing that right? Yeah, this is going to be grey wool here. There is actually a way in the schematic to change out what materials are in it and swap it for something else. It's one of those ones, though, that I never did enough to remember how. I have a weird feeling it's like you go into the schematic. No, not that thing. You go into this thing. Oh, maybe not. Material list. Maybe you do some sort of click thing on this. See, I can't even remember, but there is supposedly a way to swap them out. I did it one time just to like confirm that it's there and it works and stuff. But then I forgot. I didn't remember. Which sometimes happens. Did Jevin reply, by the way? He just said hello. God, I hope I wasn't being rude. Duck Hunt, you got it. You got it. Duck Hunt, that's the game. It's a classic. Okay, Ricky. Thank you so much for 14 months of support. Appreciate your subscription. Hope you're enjoying the stream. Chat, what do you want to talk about today? What's going on in the world? Throw some topics at me. If you can do it through the menu UI, that would be awesome. I know there's a way to do it with the stick tool. It might be with the stick tool. I seem to remember it being done through the UI, but it wasn't like a button. It was just like some obscure keyboard shortcut. That's what I remember. Throws cookies at Xisuma. Thanks. Thanks. That's the first time someone pronounced my name like that. I thought you were going to say correctly. Okay, Ricky. Okay, you win this one. It's Crikey, isn't it? Yeah, I just misread it. But when do I ever read anything correctly? Yo, Hack Spider. There's a name I can read correctly. Now you're going to tell me, no, it's Hack Spider. It's Hack Spider, you idiot. Oh, God. Hack Spider, you troll. Oh, you made that username just to fool me, didn't you? Thank you for subscribing, dude. Appreciate it. If you don't know, you can partake in our UHC on Wednesday. Next Wednesday, not tomorrow. Ask the mods in chat if you're interested. They'll get you hooked up. Fave game on Hermitcraft. Oh, I really love playing Purdle, but I think Basketball has been my favorite. It's got to be Basketball. I feel like some ideas are just like perfectly like they're genius in how simple they are, and they just feel like they're obvious, but they weren't. Like Cubs basketball game, it's just so brilliant, right? And it almost looks like, you know, anyone could have come up with this, but no, not anyone can. Like some ideas just, they feel like they're sitting right in front of you, but you don't notice them, right? I'd never thought of something like that for a game with ghasts, but it's like, of course, you could stand on them. Like, it's so brilliant what he did. I love it. You know, because something like Decked Out is like total game design, top to bottom, and just brilliant at how there's all this redstone and magic going on. I mean, Tango's a genius at this stuff, right? There's all these different levels. I think Etho's Ravager Rush is a really great, well done design. Taking a classic game and finding the way to do it in Minecraft. And then sometimes some games are just like really simple stuff that's sat in front of you for ages. It's just kind of there. It's like when someone makes a little Minecraft discovery. A lot of the time these days it tends to be aesthetic. In the past it tended to be like a combination of like redstone and game mechanics that just becomes immediately like really useful and clever. But it had been in the game for a long time, and like no one had just picked up on it. It's like that. And every now and then we get treated to one of those things. When someone finds it. It's cool. It's cool. Basketball is a legit game, like when someone made Dota in Warcraft 3. That's, you know, yeah, that's fair enough. It feels like that. It does. It's got its own vibe, and the goals and the objectives are not particularly Minecrafty, if you think about it. So yeah, it's got its own vibe. It's the game within a game. Yeah, not only Dota, a lot of defense, tower defense maps came out of StarCraft before it. Have I played Hollow Knight? I have. It's not really my kind of game. Like, I like the classic Mario platformer and stuff, but, like, I'm not... Oh, have I been placing black... Oh, my God, I've been shooting myself in the foot again. Okay, let's turn this thing off to make things a little more expedient here. I didn't do a crazy amount, that's fine. Tango is a game dev, and Minecraft is his canvas. Very true. Very well put. I'm guessing a little bit here, which I probably shouldn't do. Red ball. Okay, that's the face right there. Have you seen any games you want to play but haven't played yet? Not really. I'm not a big gamer. I have this feeling whenever I do like play a game that I'm wasting my time, unless I'm like being creative or entertaining other people with it. I feel like there's something else I'm supposed to be doing, and I don't get that feeling when I like pick up a guitar, an instrument, and play it, and I don't get that feeling when I like write music either. I feel like when I do music, I'm like following a direction that I should be going in. I'm being deadly serious, peeps. Like, y'all are having a little bit of fun with it, but I don't consider myself a gamer, really. Like, it's a luxury to play games, to have the time to do them, and it's like absurd that you can play it for a living. But it's not particularly a passion of mine. I like the idea of designing a game way more than playing one. So I have to pick and choose what I want to do, and obviously playing a game is fun, and it takes your mind off of other things. It can be like a great escape and stuff. So I get the privilege of doing that when I live stream for y'all and play some Phasmo. That's like some, just have fun, brain dead time. But if it wasn't for streaming, I would feel like I should be doing something else with my time. I'd feel guilty about playing it, I guess. Brown wall. And then... Oh, wait. What's going on here? Ah, we've hit that bit. Okay. Makes sense. Interesting take, says Grishma. I think if you're older, you'll understand it more. I think when you're young, games are just so immediately appealing. Like, I played a fair bit of games in the past. Maybe in the past I would have called myself a gamer. I never did, but I definitely played, like... when I had just, like, a regular job, and how I divvied up my time, it was kind of like free time. I didn't have a plan. It was just like, go with the flow. And so, like, if I felt like it and a game was lying around, I'll play, all right, let's play that or whatever. And it'd be fun, it'd be great, and it'd be very carefree. But I think as time went on and I got older, like, I started to get this feeling of, like, needing to do something with my time and needing to do something, like, bigger picture. And that then I would start to go, actually, I'm not going to play a game, I'm going to, like, practice guitar, because I want to write a song or whatever. One of the games, though, that I started playing at that time was Minecraft. I was actively trying not to play games, and I got sucked into it. A friend of mine said, like, have you heard of Minecraft? I think you'd like it. And oh my god, did it blow my mind when I started playing it. It was just so different, and, like, you just got to put yourself into it and create stuff, and I loved that. And so I really got sucked into it. And, like, if the whole YouTube thing hadn't taken off, I probably would have put it down after a while and maybe checked in on it every now and then, who knows. But the YouTube thing took off and it became my job. And I continued to do it and loved it because you get to explore so many creative avenues through this game. And entertain people at the same time. It's awesome. Honestly, relatable. I probably should be doing homework right now, but I really don't want to, says Mentacam. Yeah. For me, that voice, I just try and empower it. It tends to be right a lot of the time. That's kind of my thing. That's why I'm, like, quite routine oriented. I do my exercise, I eat right. I just empower that voice. Like, if you try and fight it, I don't know, I feel a bit guilty or whatever. Makes you feel bad in some kind of way. If you let it, if you're like, alright, I give in, It kind of feels like it sucks in the moment, but over a longer course of time, it ends up feeling like, actually, this is the right thing to do. So I just kind of follow that now. And so if I'm browsing Steam, which, I open Steam on occasion because, I stream Phasmo or whatever, and it's like I see some game, like, oh, that looks interesting, and I'm like, that's just time down the drain. That's all that is. I'm always on the lookout for a new type of game to stream or something, because I like exploring the different experiences and stuff. But if it ain't fresh, if it ain't something getting my brain going like a puzzle game, that little voice is like, it's not the right thing. Hey, Provis says, oh no, X, you're starting to motivate me to do something productive this evening. Outrageous. Outrageous, how dare you? You inspire. Oh, what a horrible thing to do to you. X, who could you have been if you weren't someone who you are right now? Says Ruri Autopsy. That, honestly, the answer to that question scares me. But the main reason is because doing this has given me so much strength and, like, set me in the right direction. The whole YouTube journey and streaming and stuff, like... Ah! That's kind of not great. That's kind of not great. Maybe I'll just log off for a bit and do that dice thing. You don't watch movies either. I love movies, and if I need some downtime, I'll always pick a movie over playing a game. But I tend to watch a movie while I eat, so it's kind of like, yeah, I probably could like study maybe a bit or do something different, maybe something more productive. But that's my entertainment time. Is like I sit down to eat, takes like 20 minutes to eat a meal. I'll watch a bit of a movie. And that means that I'll watch a movie over the course of like 3 or 4 days. Stop skipping the question. I didn't... Sorry, I didn't answer. I got distracted. We'll go hang out at the top of this thing. I'm just going to climb to the top of it. So, like, the reason it scares me is because I felt a need at the time to do something with my life, and I chose music. And I think as long as I would be doing that, I would be alright. But I guess the YouTuber journey pushed me into so many, like, uncomfortable spaces that it helped you grow as a person. And then I think, you know, after YouTube, there's other things in my life that have really helped me grow as a person. And I just, if I look back to where I was, I'm not sure I could have got this far had things panned out differently. And that's what scares me. Is like, I'm not afraid, or like, what doesn't get at me is the, how do you arrange this mentally? There's so many things you could do with your time, and you can imagine the most fantastical, crazy version of yourself going on adventures, I don't know, being a rock star or whatever, like, because there's people out there who have wild lives, but it's not about that. It's about the things that you do, not the things that you don't, because the things that you don't are infinite, and the choices that you make are the choices that you make. They're actually the decisions you have. And I feel very happy with like where I've come to through those decisions. And if I look back and imagine that some of the first little decisions hadn't come my way, which is literally like, oh, you didn't, you know, your mate said you should check out this game called Minecraft and you never did, right? I'm like scared of like, that's a different branch of me now. That's like a different branch on the tree. It could go in a completely different direction. It could fall to the ground. You know, like it could snap off. I don't know. The trajectory that I have come on. Oh, you gotta go? The trajectory that I'm on, I just, you know, who knows? This is... I never imagined this, you know? I actually can't sleep because I'm too high up. Brilliant. So, I've completely forgotten what the original question was. It's not going to let me sleep, is it? Oh, maybe. That shows how little things can change our life. Absolutely, yeah. The butterfly effect, right? But not really. The butterfly effect is something I kind of... Oh my god, this is bad. I kind of like believe in it and don't believe in it, if that makes sense. That doesn't until I elaborate further. Okay, let's get the heck out of Dodge. Like, I think if you had... Imagine that you have a godlike oversight of the world and you understand how everything interacts with each other at the smallest level to the largest. You would see all of these little pieces colliding together and how you could sort of take out a bit here and it'd all be completely different. Like, taking out that that piece on the Jenga tower and it falling over and creating a completely different picture. Like, I imagine that things are probably like that. Like, little small things here, there, and everywhere actually affect the big picture. I could be entirely wrong. Like, maybe this is a theory, and it's actually not the case. Maybe the forces at play in the universe, things don't work like that. But that's how I think of what the butterfly effect is. So I think some people aggrandize it as if it's like some magical force that means this little thing happening here changes something massive over there. And that kind of is it, but to me it's not mystical or magical. It's just like the world has so many complex things interacting with each other all the time that maybe it means that there are, you know, just billions of unique different outcomes and it can only be one of them. But the other, like, you could then, because we don't have the answer to that question, you could then be like, well, what if that's not how the universe works? What if it turns out you can do the experiment and you can find out, and it turns out actually, you know, you change these little things and not much is too different when it comes to the big picture stuff, you know? Like imagine you can rerun reality, right? And it's like you go back 10 years and you're on a beach and you like rearrange some of the stuff in the area. I don't know. And then like each time you do it, you go forward 100 years and like the world is totally different. You know, different countries, different events in history. Or maybe actually changing these little things, no, the same outcome each time, right? Who knows? Confronting myself. Lena Rain delivering the perfect music. Is that what the track was? Brilliant. That's awesome. I think it was Pink Wall we wanted. JG says, hi Xisuma, I've been watching you and most of the Hermit gang for more years than I'd like to count. Thanks for making every day brighter for me. Appreciate the lovely message, my dude. Thanks for sharing that. Always love to hear a little something like that. This is not where we were placing blocks, was it? It was over here. Stable attractors versus chaotic manifolds. X, have you seen Steins Gate? What is that? Is it a movie? I don't think I have. I feel like some of these ideas are perhaps like a little more universal and not so unique. Like, I remember when I was a pothead in my youth, having my little pothead moments. And one that I was like trying to explain, I remember it so vividly because like I felt like I had such a good argument for this, but like I convinced some of my mates, but there was one mate I couldn't convince. And the thing that I was trying to get across was this idea that if you had like complete knowledge of how everything interacted with one another and you could pause time and you could look at like one small little detail, one little thing that's going to interact, you could sort of predict it into the future, right? Like you would, you know, this thing is moving towards that, it's going to collide, it's going to go off in that direction, it's going to interact with those other things. And if you're picturing like, let's say like balls on a snooker table, you can kind of imagine, okay, yeah, you hit it like that and it hits this one and they end up in this position. Now imagine that your mind is capable of doing that for like every atom in the universe and that you can just pause time. Like you'd be able to see the whole thing unfold into the future. Now quantum mechanics throws a little bit of a wrench in the works there. I wasn't aware of that at the time. But anyway, that was something I was trying to convince to someone. And then later on I found out it was something called Laplace's demon. And it's like this concept that this philosopher came up with a long time ago. And it's just like, I'd never heard of that before, but you know, some thoughts, some ways of looking at the world, they can be kind of universal in some ways, right? You know, people can have the same ideas independent of one another. X, would you rather explore the deep space or the deep sea? Why so? Riri, I gotta say it'd be deep space for me. I feel like, you know, as fascinating as everything down there would be, space is just so much infinitely bigger that, like, how could I not choose it? You guys have thoughts? Yep, there's thoughts up here in this noggin, believe it or not. X is Laplace reincarnated, confirmed. Laplace is Laplace the guy who came up with it? Like, I'm not sure that he is. It's just called Laplace's demon. He probably is. Probably is called Laplace, and they named it after him, right? I don't know why he called it a demon either. I thought it was really strange. Like, what's demonic about that? If anything, it's more godlike to have, like, a complete overview and understanding of everything, right? Also, I think Laplace's demon might be a bit of a slightly different argument. Mine was more for determinism. Like this idea that you don't have free will. You just have an illusion of free will, which I still in some way kind of feel today. Like, that's where my gut goes, but at the same time, you don't have to come to an answer on all these things, right? Like, you don't have to have an answer for everything in life, you know? Do you think it's deterministic, or do you think you have free will? You can also be like, I don't know. I don't know, man. And, you know, and that is your free will. Or was it predetermined? What do we talk about on this channel, eh? Jeez. X, you don't think you have enough brain cells to understand what I'm saying. Hey, if you don't understand something, just ask, and I'll try and explain it better, right? I'm happy to try and make more sense out of these things if you're not following. The idea of daemons for thought experiments was a meme. I guess see Maxwell's daemon about violating thermodynamics. Oh, right. Another demon in philosophy, eh? This one's a little on the lighter side. If emotions had color, what emotion would love be for you? I immediately thought pink, but I think that's just a very, like, kind of like girls' toys type thing, you know, like girls' toys are pink and they got hearts on them, and boys' toys are like blue and brown and Action Man, and there's less of that stuff around today, though, right? Tools are a bit more toys are a bit more universal, I've noticed. It was very very categorized when I was a kid. You go to Toys R Us and there'd be this corridor of just like blue, and then the next corridor for the girls would be pink, you know? But yeah, like red for anger, like I feel like these things were probably pretty common. Don't they use green for jealousy? I don't know what I would give jealousy. I think my mind doesn't really fit those two things together very well. Not getting a lot of ideas other than things that I've just seen out there before. Green equals hope. Interesting. I mean, green is like a natural color as well, right? Nature. So I could see it being attached to emotions that are evoked by nature, perhaps. I think we're at the very last blocks here. We just got to get some green and we're done. And maybe a bit more red. Oh boy, we're so close. Oh, look at that! That's absolutely killer. Oh, this is totally worth it. This was totally worth it, peeps. Totally. Totally worth it, mate. Third time's the charm. Opinions on board games. Board games are cool, like, but they're like social games, aren't they? You know, you play them with your family and friends, and they kind of serve a little bit of fun. The thing that I'm not so keen on about board games is what do we need? Green. They tend not to like add up. And what I mean by that is, like, when you play computer games, there can often be more of a long-term like investment and reward where you do stuff that adds up over multiple sessions of playing. I mean, just look at Hermitcraft, you know. How many sessions of like leveling up and adding to what you're doing there is. Obviously, it's nothing like a board game, but the point is just board games are they serve a short amount of time and then you move on, and everything gets reset. And I kind of like it when you get to hold something over for the next round. Right, I'm going to resort to just chucking random wall in here because I'm lazy. Lazy as. Gonna need to sleep. You lost your life on UHC, now you can watch. Oh, there's a UHC going on, isn't there? There's a UHC going. There's literally, we're talking about there being one next week. There's one going on today as well. I saw a lot of people were there to play earlier. I mean, that's going to make one heck of a thumbnail right there. That's cool. We did it. Right, let's go find out what's going on with this Metro Mayhem malarkey. I'm not sure I've ever said malarkey before on a stream, but it popped into my head. Yeah, so I played Monopoly, the card game, on holiday. It's really fun, and I think it works because there's something appealing about Monopoly, but I think it's an inherently poor game in a way. It's something about its theming, and probably just the nostalgia of playing it as a kid. Because let's face it, like, when you get older and you've played more games, it's like you want to play something decent, and a lot of games can be pretty mediocre. When you're a kid, everything's fantastical. So we all got that like Monopoly nostalgia, but it's an inherently like poorly designed game where it's mostly luck, and if you were to apply any strategy to the game, it would be to be aggressive. Being aggressive in Monopoly will always help you. Obviously, there'll be times when there's, you know, caution because maybe you don't have a lot of money, but if you can ride out those moments, aggression is generally the good strategy in Monopoly. And the card game, unfortunately, feels like it has the same sense of aggression. However, of all the games I played over the weekend, I had this one where I held on to a couple of good cards at the very beginning, and after a poor start, I managed to turn around the game. And then I got an incredibly lucky draw towards the end that just like wiped out the people I was playing with. But most of the games felt really luck oriented. And again, you just want to be aggressive, you know? Monopoly was the original landlord game. It was stolen from a lady and changed. Yeah, I've heard that before. It's almost like a little bit of an urban legend. In case you didn't know, Monopoly is not supposed to be fun. The game was designed by a socialist to highlight the perils of unchecked capitalism. Yeah, I've heard that as well, yeah. I'm just thinking about it from a pure game perspective, right? Not like, how's this supposed to make you think of Theo? Okay, so it turns out that whoever said this would be open on Monday was talking out of their bum. So I guess we won't do this. I could do a little bit more pixel art. But I kind of, you know, I don't know if we're going to do Redstone or not, but I'll pop into the world and see what happens. I have a couple more Redstone bits here for us to do if need be. Like we've got the ET and we've got the Pikachu and the motocross. They're going to be fun to do. Maybe for another day. Let's go check out this Redstone thing, because I kind of forgot where I got with it. Like, I was on a little bit of a groove, having fun, and then I went on holiday, and now I can't remember what I was doing with it all. Yeah, okay, so I built a system here using a bit of redstone that I really thought would work. I really wanted to use this system with the rails, but unfortunately, you end up sending like different signals through to power these lamps. So tried to modify that, but it wasn't so great. And then we got this over here. This is the very basic way of doing it, but it turns out that's probably actually the best way, because you can just have a stable signal for each state of the dice, right? And I said to Cybot, like, this is, I think, the way that I need to do this. And do you have any ideas on how to compact it? And Cybot made another circuit over here, which is kind of genius. I haven't actually come over here yet. It's a lot smaller, as you can see, and it's got this interesting effect where like the redstone signal will diminish on either side from the source. And due to the way that the comparators are in subtract mode, it means that the output will be on if it's in line with where the torch is. As soon as you're out of line with where the torch is, the signal strength, as you can see, is equal either side. So it doesn't turn it on because it's in subtract mode. Let's go ahead and turn on one that has quite a few torches. Even when you got like 3 torches on, it still always finds, like, the system just works everywhere. It's so clever. So I might end up using this. Really cool little redstone design. But then I've been thinking about how do I want this dice to work, and what I want it to do is you press a button and it rolls and then it stops on one, right? And I don't think I'm going to do too much with this on stream. But maybe we can brainstorm a couple of things together. Like, I haven't had the time to barely even think about this yet. Hey, Provo says genius. Yeah, it is, it is. Yeah, so I'm not sure how to do it. Like, I think there's going to be some sort of circuit that sends a quick fire signal. So each one of these gets turned on for 2 ticks, which is enough to turn on the torch. And hopefully with the right timing, that this will change without blinking. So that would be one thing to put in here. But then you'd need to be able to stop that, and when it stops, it needs to pick 1 out of 6. So I need a 1 in 6 randomizer. Now, one way to randomize is to, you know, use a dropper with 6 different items for an item filter, but that feels kind of icky to me. What you could do is while it's rolling, it can figure out what one it's going to be, and when the rolling animation finishes, then you pick it. But there might be something else. You can do signal strength based on the item stack, but that only gives you 3 options. Like maybe a couple of the classic droppers going in the hoppers. I'll find something. The dice displays are for a game. Yeah, it's a game that uses dice. I haven't said what for because I'm keeping that under wraps right now. I've got a cool little game idea I want to explore. And yeah, I'll figure it out. There's another thing here, which is that these are inverted. So then you need torches onto that. So you're going to end up with something up here. And already things are starting to get a little bigger. I mean, maybe I'll put it down below and extend this thing out. But for now, you put it like that. 2 like repeaters on 2 ticks in between each one. I can probably turn all these levers off now as well. When you get to the very last one, you want that signal to come back and repeat itself back into the first one. So if you're going to have a repeater there, this needs to be a whole set of redstone. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yikes! Just about make it. Then you need to be able to send in a pulse. So we'll go ahead and use a classic. I can't remember if you need sand to do this. But on this side, you're going to have that. I think you can do this without sand. And then over here, you're going to have that. Yeah, and then just a button. So that kind of looks like it's doing what it's supposed to. Interesting how 3 appears to be on the whole time. And then something needs to stop it eventually. Wow, fell down. And then it's off. Oh, weird. Let's do that again. So Is this because we're actually missing a 2-tick delay? No, we're not. Huh. But you can see how 2 of them stay on. I don't know what's up with that. If you don't need rapid fire dice throws, you can also just put 6 hoppers in a loop and have comparators read each one. That's a cool idea, because I think the amount of time that will pass between throwing a dice, there's pretty much no way that's going to get like sussed out and manipulated. So literally this could be our system. Probably need a bit more space away from there, actually. So you got that, then you're going to have some of these things sticking out. We call them comparators. They compare. What's in here, what's in there. Yeah. And then you put the redstone on top. And then you'd have a torch. And you'd have an item inside. So, item in there. Let's get ourselves a torch and a lever. I saw that one light up and I was expecting it to go that way, and I was like, wait, what? Oh, okay, I see. Alright, yeah, that's great, really. You press the button, this thing stops, that rolls, then it's going to actually light up the correct one. When you press the button again, this thing like re-rolls or something. I'll figure it out. Because you do need a little bit of time for that one to roll around again. And you need to use the time between the player looking at the dice and doing stuff, because that'll give it plenty of time to randomize. So like, I think what you're going to do is only turn this off for a second and combine it with an AND gate that sends the signal onwards and like then stores it for the next component to work. Cybot says lamps are slow. It's not the speed of that, it's the... Okay. Cybot, you got all the answers. Let's try it if it's 3 ticks then. You can see... it's not good. It's not good. Try 4 ticks. Might also be... maybe not. Maybe not. I was going to say it might be the length of this, but probably not. It's like it's drunk. It also makes me wonder if this is correct or not, but it's definitely... I just noticed something. These two are the same, which doesn't make any sense. I think actually it might be missing... That's 5 there. That needs, yeah. That needs that. So then we got this like crazy blinking middle one. There shouldn't be any delay from these repeaters sending the signal. Don't interrupt the cycle and just have 6 gates and each gets connected to the player button. Yep, that's just like much simpler. This is what I love about Redstone and logic and stuff, is that you like put together steps to achieve an outcome, but then you got to pay attention to what's going on. Like here, another trick could be using an observer to get the signal out of the comparator, right? And then how would you use that in an AND gate, though? I'm not quite sure on that one. Anyway. Like, if it's an AND gate, you're going to need... We're gonna run into this again, because now we're, like, going to be inverting stuff. So, like, we turn off the torches. That's good. That then has to reach a redstone signal, or a piece of redstone. They can't be connected. They got to be unique. So, like, there's some sort of arrangement like this. And then the other side of this is more torches. I don't know where they're going to come from, but those other torches will be paired together. So you start throwing together all these complex elements, and then you gotta like pull it back a little bit and just like look at what's going on, and maybe there's like another way to do this. I'm not sure what that way would be though. Sometimes it'll use like a mechanic you're not even thinking about, like a piston, or I don't know. There's probably a lot of ways you can do this. Yeah, I think the issue is that the torches always turn on the moment the last row turned off. A lamp needs a moment of downtime between signals. Yeah, okay. For a 6-way randomizer, I found a good way to do it. Combine a 2-way and 3-way randomizer. Have a row of 6 randomizers and get the position of the first one that triggers with possibilities 6, 5, 4, and then 1, 3, 2, and 1. Sorry, 3, 2, and 1. Yeah, I know. I kind of get what you're saying. You could do a dropper hopper. That's another way. I really like this though because it feels simple, but you just got to get the next bit here to not be overly complicated at the same time. Maybe signal strength could be a way to do it, right? Like, so if we go down like this, so I could always put a different, I could put a different item in here. That's locked it, not particularly on top of that one. So if I go ahead and grab, let's grab like a minecart. I think the issue with what I'm trying to do now is that if it's in the middle, it looks fine because there's 2 either side, but what about when it's on that edge? Now you got a 1 here, so probably not the right choice. Maybe if I pick an ender pearl, signal strength might be a little better. No, it's just a 1 now. Actually, that works if it's a 1 and it doesn't bleed. Like, you could have locked repeaters that unlock. Not quite sure. I'd have to sit and think about that. My redstone muscles have not been used enough. I am really out of shape with it. Do you understand what's going on? No. Am I happy to be here regardless? Yes. Mantacam, hopefully you can learn something. Like, if there's any concepts you don't understand, just ask. I do try to explain stuff in a way that makes it a bit more accessible. So if we need like a space between each of these lines of redstone turning off, we basically need 2 repeaters, and then you have that awkward issue of, well, I've laid it out like this, there's 1 space in between. You could possibly do something with like observers and having them snake the signal through to like eat up more space like this and going around in a loop, and then you like pull 1 off of it and add the signal like that, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3 Thor. That could work. You have no idea how redstone works. Never made a farm or a game. I should get into it. Redstone's amazing. It's like an open-ended puzzle. Observers are not stateful. I don't think it needs to be. Comparators feed directly into full blocks. Redstone line one of those blocks and torches on their front might work. Have the redstone be on by default and unpower it when the player presses the button. So we're saying torches onto the line of redstone. I don't think that works that way around, because it's always going to be on. Anyway, if I'm not streaming and I think about it, I'll come up with something. I know I will. I just, it's late. I'm not fully there. Alright, I've got another little bit of pixel art here, I'm thinking. It might be funny to squeeze in somewhere. Where are we going? To the nether, of course. To the nether. The player input on the torch box. I'll do it off camera because I need to just sit and think a bit more, and it's hard to like keep talking and entertain while you're trying to do redstone sometimes. Normally when I do redstone on camera on a stream, I've had time to think about it before, so I kind of know what direction I'm going in, and I know what pieces I need to fit together. Right, let's head over in this direction. That's where the pixel art is. The one that I've got, by the way, is a derpy little one. It is... let me count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's like an 8x8 sprite. I'm not sure if that fits down there in the corner. That's probably it, actually, for that corner. Not sure where I'm going to put this one. But I reckon we can fit in like another row of Bomberman style here. So maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 at a push. And then maybe 3 there. So we're looking at getting like 9 more of these into the build. And then it's done. I don't think I'm going to do any more today. I've actually had like a super busy day. I did a snapshot. I think I might just wrap this one up a little earlier, you know. E-Jam says, Xisuma, what's your favourite movie? One of mine has always been American Beauty, and I literally rewatched it the other day, and it was so much fun to rewatch. I just happened to have got back from a holiday, or sorry, Reading Festival actually, and sometimes I've noticed this, when you get back from a holiday, you're just not quite ready to get back into your routine. You need like a brain break, and I needed one, and I was cleaning the house, and then I was like, you know, I'm just gonna watch the rest of this movie, and like have a bag of popcorn and some ice cream. And it was awesome. And watching that movie again, always a blast. But definitely some questions about it. It's got some elements of it that haven't aged well, but overall, I think the movie's still fantastic. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Oh, let's also plug the UHC one more time, peeps. If you are subscribed, if you're a patron, a subscriber here on Twitch, don't forget about the UHC on Wednesday. Don't forget about it, peeps. Let me see if I can set up a raid here. Oh, guess what? Jevin's streaming. Definitely send you to Jevin. Definitely send you to Jevin. Alright, peeps. There's a riggedy raid for you. Jev's playing some basketball. Go check it out. I'm going to bounce. Hope you've been entertained. I'll see you again tomorrow. I've got something planned for tomorrow. So tune back in at a similar time and we'll be having a lot of fun. Alright, see you all later. Take care. Bye-bye.